Hello, everybody. Ooh, try that again. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Space Engineers. Here with Jaws, Captain Jaws.
Yar yar.
Arr. And we are down in our mining area because we are not working down here today. So let's get out of here.
Yes, perfect.
So
Oh,
today
we're
we're going
running.
to...
Exercise.
Must move faster. Oh, wait, we might kill each other, though, if we
Wait.
do this.
There's
Hey,
a
we
hole
should
in the
walk.
floor.
It's fine. A little hole.
Whee!
So today we're going to do what we said. And we're going to continue working on the GoD and do the automation portion. Yes.
Yes, we have the big plans. The big
Plan is
plans
set.
of
We're both aware of the
automation.
plan.
One
Yes.
button to rule them all.
And a second button to shut it off. And maybe a third to do something else. But the one button will turn it on.
Yes, indeed.
All right. So we got our control room done, and we've finished welding, I think, for the most part, on this side, at least for now.
Yeah,
So the front side is nice and done, and I think it looks good. I like it.
it does look very
I'm
much
happy.
like a control room.
It does. I
So-
think it's, yeah, looking down over the machinery that's being operated. Or it's like the boss's office that looks down at the workers and
Work
picks out which one's going to fire. Yep. Who's going to lose their job today? Him! He scratched his nose. He's fired.
He doesn't have time for that.
So, where are you, Jaws?
I'm behind you.
He's behind me, isn't he? Okay. So Jaws has already got Krelled out. This is where we've decided we're going to put kind of the mechanisms that we need to
Yes.
interact with the station and the slider.
Yes.
So Jaws, what's the plan? Do we
Well,
go over the operations again, or how should we do this one?
okay, so we can start by going over the things we need to do to make this a one button thing.
Sounds good.
Yes. So first we'll start with the station side. We need to turn on the grinders, toggle the gravity field so it starts pulling the GoD. That's it for the station side. But then at the pretty much same time, we have to turn on the mass block on the GoD as well. And switch
Yes.
the batteries from recharging to uncharging, or whatever it's called, outputting energy.
Yeah. Okay. And that pretty much does it, I guess. It's not too much. It's actually probably less complicated in a way to the Krill Grill. Less little things to switch and all that, but
But there is a problem.
yes.
Yes, the buttons only work on the station or things connected through rotors or pistons, which this GoD it's not connected at all. It's a separate entity altogether. So we need to move that signal from the station to the GoD machine.
Yes. And currently there's no way to do that from other than mechanically.
Yes. So we need a sensor.
Yes. So we can detect. So if we send a signal from the station and make it do what, Joss?
We make it extend a piston, which the GoD will see.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna extend. We can move something into the sensor path that will be on this slider. So we can basically just give it a little, basically like hitting a button. When the piston gets in range of the sensor, it will detect it, and that is essentially like hitting a mechanical button or a digital button. Mechanical to digital.
Yeah.
And that should, and then we can trigger events on the slider, and we'll probably think we need like one timer to accomplish that. But Jaws said we need to turn on that artificial mass, and we have to switch the batteries since that's two different functions. Can't do it in a group, but we can do it in a timer. So we'll have to add a timer to this guy.
Yes. So what do you
And-
say? Okay, keep going.
Nope, that's it,
Okay.
pretty much.
So what do you say we visualize it by placing down a sensor and see
Okay, I got one in my hand. I'll place it. I'll grab Krelda.
I'll grabbing Krelda.
We're going to put a sensor here. And it's going to... We'll modify the field, but we'll be able to show that to you.
Squishing through.
I guess I didn't need to bring her in.
Meh. And we learned that if you only have one block, actually doing it by hand is faster. So there we go. There we have the sensor.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Now the question is, I don't think this is going to show up because...
yeah, we don't have an antenna on this guy.
Yeah, so...
That might be something we need to add.
Yeah.
We could add it back here, just on the very back of him. Let me try something. Yeah, I was wondering if we were going to need an antenna. And you're right, we are.
So, what do you say we do that? I might have the parts actually in Krelda.
Okay. If you come to the very back of the slider, I'm going to place one. Which might actually look okay too there.
Oh yeah.
Looks like just a spike at the back.
Its spikes are cool.
Impalement.
Did I have all the pots? Nope.
No, you are lacking radio components. You need 22 of them.
Ah.
And how many do we need for sensors?
6. Ah, Krill, you're in the way. Move.
Make sure you get 30. Oh, yeah. Don't explode her. We just fixed her legs.
I'll do my best.
Beautiful legs.
And I exploded her.
You bastard. I actually put some, I think I put some detector stuff in her. I don't think I took enough, though. I think there's still some left. Oh, no, I don't have any detector.
Is the detector or radio?
I don't know. I already forgot. Let me go check. It's a very good question. Getting closer. Closer.
Closer.
Radio.
Radio.
It's actually interesting that they don't need detector. I guess it depends. It detects a signal that hits it.
I mean, yeah.
But maybe not the same.
But
So
I
yeah,
mean, the
with that-
turrets detect enemies, but they don't need detectors.
True. This game is flawed.
Space
refund.
engineers logic.
So once we get that, one of these gray ones should,
There we
I
go.
imagine, be visible.
Yep,
There it
I
is.
can see it.
Oh no, that's a small ship. Is that it?
What's that? What?
There's the antenna. Oh, I'm looking through the remote control thing.
The remote
We have
control?
a small ship, 625.
Could it be that it is
I think we
mine?
scrap it. Maybe.
Let me see if I can detect it. Small ship 625.
Oh no, that is it.
That's
the slider. Yeah,
Info.
that's the artificial mass.
Let's name it. GoD wall slider.
Sure. GoD slider, yeah.
Slide with a Z.
GoD slider with a Z? What?
Slider with Z. Slider.
You can spell it however you like.
Yay! This is the
That's weird that it
GoD
says like small
slider.
ship. Because this
Yeah.
is most definitely not a small ship. Most definitely a large ship.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I cannot get into Krelda now. And there we go.
Okay, so there's the sensor. So now we can put the show on. Oh, slider. Nice.
Slider.
If I go into the sensor here in the control panel, which I probably just passed. Yep. We got the show on HUD. So in our info, if we show sensor field range, we can see that visually. And Jars has already set up the distance. So bottom extends all the way to 50. So we want the full range, but only in one
Yes.
direction. And it's just extending down a little bit. So we want to be able to detect something that this thing basically anywhere here. But we don't want to get it so high that it's going to be in the way of the slider. So that's why it's down here. So we can move something into this field without hitting the slider. And that's what we're trying to achieve here.
Yes. So what do you say we go to where it ends, which should be here?
Yeah.
Do that.
So this is one end. Once the slider starts moving, the sensor field's going to move too.
Indeed.
So this is one end of the range of motion, I guess. So we
Mhm.
want to be able to send a signal no matter where the slider is. That's what Jars is setting up here with this piston. So right now we're at the very end of the field, so even if this piston extends, we can detect it. And if the
Yes.
slider moves 100 blocks, because it can detect 50 and 50 in both directions, we should be able to detect it at the other end as well. And I think Jars worked out that that's roughly what we need is the full length of it. We'll have
Yes.
to put it through its motions and make sure that is indeed the fact.
Yes.
But we'll have to wait till we can test it because we don't feel like
Yes.
counting again.
So so technically, if you go to the other side of the sensor field of view, once it's all the way closed, this area over here where the sensor field ends should be over at the piston.
Exactly, yeah.
Once it's closed. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
So hopefully that works.
So what this sensor is going to do, the sensor on the GoD Zelida, is when it detects a large ship. Let's set that up. Once it detects a large ship, which that piston is, it's a large ship, it's going to trigger the... Let's see here. The... What's it called?
Our timer block.
A timer block
put on there.
that triggers the mass block and the batteries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that will get it going. And what we're also going to do, like when we activate this piston, we're also going to turn on those grinders and flip that gravity field. So that will take care of basically the start operation. And that's our one button.
That's our one button. And once it closes, do we go through that now or do we keep it for later?
Once it closes, yeah, we can set that up. So we're going to detect when it's closed, which means once that wall is as far this way as it can go, we want to be able to detect that state and then trigger another sequence of events.
Yes. So I guess since we know that this is a stopper, do we just...
I think so. I can't remember if that stopper is being used. Let me just make sure. Yeah, I don't know if it does. I think it used to be. That might be our old stopper now that I think about it. Because we used to have a little angle piece that kind of, kind of went like that to hit the stopper. So I think when we changed it and like made it symmetrical top and bottom, we got rid of that. So I don't know if we have a mechanical stop.
So do we set this up and close it?
We might have to do that, yeah. So maybe we'll test. We'll get this functional, and then we'll test it. We're gonna have to wait because it's slow, or we might manually move it in faster, and then we'll bring it back for that sequence. So once we get it to the next stage, yeah, that's a good idea. Okay.
Perfect. So do quick break here. Set up stuff.
Yeah. So we'll have to set up the timer block. Maybe we'll just put it right here next to the piston, so we know it's all part of that unit.
Indeed.
And yeah. Then we'll trigger it and continue from there. Okay.
Indeed.
Bye-bye.
Oh. And welcome back. So, we've done some fiddling and fuddling. Whatever fuddling is, I don't know. Do you know, Marubas, what fuddling is?
Nope, that's a new one.
Okay.
Can't help you, sorry.
Tweaking and twerking is good while working.
Yes.
That's the motto of today. And we have this set up. We have the one button to rule them all. And the one button to shut it off.
To kill them all. We actually did different stuff than we actually talked about. We kind of thought about different things that might occur, so we did some modifications, I think, maybe a little bit, but for the most part it's pretty much what we set out.
Yeah, the general concept is exactly the same. There just needed one or two more timer
tweaks, I
blocks,
guess.
and we changed the piston or to a rotor. And we'll show you, hopefully. But what do you say? Do you want the honor to press the button, or is it the captain's job?
Go for it, Captain.
Ah, yes.
So the one button, which has the one symbol, is to turn it on. The fourth button here is to turn it off, and we'll show you how it turns it off and stuff. So this is actually like an emergency shut off.
Yes,
something goes wrong. This is the button we hit.
Yes.
So we figured that was good to set up before we turned it on this time.
Yeah.
Unlike the Crow Grill, which we still haven't set up that. Okay, so go for it, Joss.
And 3, 2, 1.
Cue explosions. Of course, this thing moves so slow we can't even tell. Oh, I think I actually see it moving.
No, wait. I think I didn't set it to trigger, but I set it to start. Yeah, so there was a 10-second delay.
Oh, there's a delay. Yep. So you can hear the grinders just came on.
Oh, and you can see the thruster and parts rolling over the floor.
Okay, so the gravity's turned on properly. So the gravity used to be pushing this guy closed or all the way open. And now you can see we have 0.3 Gs towards the grinding wall. Sorry, Jars, did I interrupt you?
No, you just went out before I was ready.
Oh, sorry. I actually thought you left, so I was like, I'll go get... I'm late. I'm behind. But yeah,
so
the dampening is, you can see, being triggered. So this thruster's trying to kind of slow this thing down. And it is moving. There's no ship, of course, in there, but
it looks stable.
We'll get to that later.
So let's see if anything. And we did also, I don't think we mentioned it in the video, but we are turning on the Wolverine healing effect with the welders over here as well with the system.
Yes. So if we go, maybe I'll remote into that timer block while that thing is moving.
Oh, yeah.
So
which
we have
one?
GoD timer. I don't see the other one.
GoD on. I see no GoD off.
Yeah. What happened there? GoD. We lost a timer. It's there. If you search for GoD... Oh, it's GoD block. Oops. I deleted the timer instead of the block. Word. Okay. My bad. There we go. So this is the one that triggers it on. So if we look in there... Wolverine auto heal on, Grinders of Doom on.
Hold on.
Rotor.
Hold on.
Oh, are you getting in there? Sorry.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, so we got the GoD healing. We got the Grinders of Doom. This is a rotor, which we replaced the piston we were going to use with a rotor. We'll go over why. And then it turns on the clear grinders, which is just a gravity field I put in the wall there, so it should push parts away so they don't get stuck on the wall. So that, yeah, it's just a little gravity field. And then the toggle on block, which is the one that overrides the other gravity that normally keeps the thing open, and it starts the closing process.
Cool. So I'm actually down here if you want to come down and look at the rotors.
Okay, let's do that. Oh, these are our little mechanical switches, basically. And they just rotate back and forth. So you can kind of see both positions that they could be in.
And here you have the two
beautiful
things. So when these...
go for it.
Okay, so when these are reversed, these two soon-to-be red switches, maybe one should be green for turning on. Let's do that. So the green switch, it goes... When we turned it on before, it was on the other side, but it flips over, does a half semicircle... Not a half semicircle, but a semicircle, and it just bumps into this sensor field over here and activates the sensor, which goes to a timer, which turns on the stuff in the GoD slider, which we talked about before. There's really no difference there, actually. The most of the difference is right here where we are.
Yeah, and we'll take a look at the GoD, the wall after, because we had to add a couple timer blocks, but we'll go over that. Some of that's with the starting function. I think it's one of them's for the emergency shutdown.
Yes.
Should we go over the emergency shutdown, or should we look at the GoD and continue with the start?
Yeah. You wanna...
Okay.
Do we want to activate the shutdown? Emergency?
Let's remote into the GoD first and
Okay.
look at the timer block we set up. So this is what gets triggered by the sensor. So we have
Yes.
one timer block. Oh wait, are you ready?
Yes, we have the on-off.
Yeah, so this is the one that gets triggered by that green switch. So if we hit that one button again, does it turn things off? I can't remember. We'll see. But this guy simply, it turns off or toggles the state of the mass block. So if it's off, it will turn it on, which it should be off when the thing is not being operated. And it changes the state of the batteries from recharging to discharge. And that's
Yes.
all.
Yeah, that's all it needs to do.
So yeah, JAWS, the emergency shutoff.
I'm gonna...
Same principle, kind of.
yeah,
but yeah.
Same principle. Do we want to activate it?
Sure. Triggered now.
I'm setting timer so we can see the thing going. What happens here? Oh my god! And the
So if we're
area
up there-
disappeared.
So what happened? How did
What
we do this?
happened?
So this was actually something we talked about. We tried to figure out different ways we could accomplish this goal. So we wanted to be
Yes.
able to make sure that there was no way for this gravity block to be on
Yes.
or accidentally turned back on again without some kind of manual intervention.
Yes, because it is an emergency turn off.
Yeah,
So-
so if you hit the emergency button and someone hits the turn back on button, we don't want it to turn back on.
Yes.
We want it to stay off. And we tried a few different ways, but Jars thought about a power sink.
Yes. So
So what we did is basically purposely overloaded the ship.
a lot.
Yeah. And we tried it with a beacon, because we thought a beacon drew a lot, but it didn't draw enough.
Yeah.
So we got rid of that. And if you look down, we added a second antenna.
Because
And
it
that guy,
does draw a lot.
yeah, those guys draw a lot. So we have one antenna that we like to have on, so we can remote in and do all that kind of stuff. And the one on top is set to infinite, so it uses a ton of power. And I guess if we got into the cockpit, it would show that we are overloaded.
Yes.
I'll hop
you
in
can-
there real quick.
You can go in first.
So there you can see we are overloaded. We have, where does it say? We're missing a total of 4.3 megawatts. So JAWS you can see as well.
Okay, 4.3. Yes, we're missing a lot of power. 4.3 utility, or you can see missing total 4.3, but it's mostly from utility stuff in here. So big overload. So if we go in and we can look at the, I can turn this on again. So
Yeah, so there's a control group right on the toolbar.
yes, you can. I'll let you hop in and see.
So that's how
Watch
we can
that.
just turn that back on again.
Yes.
Although that one didn't show up for me. So probably just a multiplayer sync
Oh.
thing. But that's the goal. So we'll have, you go hop in there, you hit the toolbar, and you can turn it back on again.
Yes.
Or you could shut it off. So we have two ways to do an emergency stop. We could do it from the control room. We could, I guess, fly a large ship through that sensor field, or come to the cockpit and turn it off.
Yes. But that's not the end of the emergency switch.
No.
It is not, because it's not moving again. We turned on the GoD wall slider, whatever you want to call it, but it's not moving. We decided it's not emergency stoppy enough. We decided to turn off the gravity generators as well.
Yes.
So that's what the timer down here is for, by the switch. And I killed myself.
Oh. So yeah, that otherwise we wouldn't actually need that timer, I don't think.
No.
It's just because we want to do a couple states. Otherwise, we could just trigger that rotor directly.
Yes.
So again, to turn everything back on, it's basically a two-step process. We go back. We'd have to trigger the start thing again, and also reset the GoD from the cockpit. So there is automation, but there's still manual stuff we want to do. But
Yes.
we can still operate the thing with one button, assuming everything operates properly. I guess we could turn off the grinders too.
Grinders of Doom being turned off. So now it should move again. I went in and turned on the gravity fields manually.
Oh, okay.
Is it moving? It is moving.
Perfect.
So we need this. Yeah, we need this to close to be able to find out where we can do the where we can put the sensor to detect when it's closed.
Yeah, so our next goal, once it gets here, it doesn't need to be here anymore, basically, because that means the ship's gone that we're trying to grind. So we can detect the walls somewhere, and it will just reverse function and start opening again.
Yes.
So there'll be no need to reset it manually. You can just have it grind the ship, walk away, and when it's done, theoretically, it should return back to its starting position.
Yeah.
But we still have to set up those sensors.
Yeah, we do.
So we have to wait. So we won't make you wait. So we'll bring you back for the next stage.
Indeed. Krelda is limping home.
Yay!
He's in a limping home mode. There's... She's so damaged. She looks like Frankenstein's monster, like all stitched up together. So 3, 2, 1.
Beautiful.
And then we come back 5 minutes later.
Back to work.
Back to work. Oh, it's closed.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It has closed.
It has closed.
But we had an accident.
We had an accident.
There was an explosion. Terrible explosion. And Krelda was badly hurt.
She was badly hurt.
Her insides torn out.
Everything.
We nearly killed Scrabbit.
It was so painful.
I wonder, is she done?
She should be done. I set
We
the
didn't hear a
microwave.
ding.
I didn't hear a ding, but I set the microwave for, the medical bay to 5 minutes, which should have been enough. Can I please get some gravity here? There we go. So we've go.
Looks like it.
Oh, look at that. It's opened. She looks fixed. I don't think she has enough power, though. Nope, she doesn't. So.
Cool.
That's nice.
So yeah, so that works. The toaster's working. It reset itself without our intervention, so that's nice.
That is very nice.
What are you doing, Jaws?
I'm grabbing your
breaking
name.
your back. You're breaking your back.
Breaking back.
Breaking.
I'm breaking bad. No.
Breaking bad. Ooh. So yes, the wall is closed. It did make it though. It bumped Krelda, so that's what caused the explosion. She was down there and the slider hit her.
Actually, the thruster inertial dampened her.
Oh, is that what happened? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So she was in a really bad spot.
Yeah, the worst possible spot to be in.
So here we are. You can see it's in its stop position. We have the grinders are off right now. I guess we could turn those back on to show. I was opposite of you in the gap. I'm towards the station at the top.
At the top, okay.
So I'm going to turn on the grinders of doom, I think, right? Can I do that?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
And there we go. So this is where it would be at when it got to the end.
Mm-hmm.
And now if we go below, without getting grinded, we've set up the other sensors we need.
One there.
And we have them on show on HUD, and Jaws is there, and I'm struggling to move. So there you go. So this one's set up to detect this when this block enters it. And when that happens, it reverses the gravity field, so it starts opening it again. Yes. So we didn't need a timer block for that one. And Jar's figured out a clever way to do another action. Since we're done grinding the ship at this point, we don't need the grinders on. So if you look in the grouping, we have the gravity God toggle. So that's how we used to toggle the machine. So we can still use that. So that'll turn off the one that's closing it, and it'll allow the one that's opening it to take over. Mm-hmm. And he set it up to turn off the grinders of doom when it leaves the gravity field.
Yes.
So when it enters, it's going to take out that gravity field, which is actually going to cause it to leave the field again, which can then turn off the grinders so we don't have to have them running needlessly.
Indeed.
So,
nice.
Jaws, you want to do the honor?
Want to do the honor? Okay. So we're going to, if you turn, we place this and set it up before doing the action, so the action hasn't been performed. But if we turn it off and then turn it on again, it should perform the action. Doesn't single player.
I think it used to, didn't it? I think that was one of the things they mentioned. Maybe that has changed, or yeah, maybe it's a multiplayer.
Toggle. Let's see, toggle. No, it's still on, so let's turn that off manually. And it should start moving.
There it goes. And when it leaves the field, it should turn off those grinders.
It's not moving for me, Moribus.
Not moving for me either.
Do we have gravity? Do we have...
We have 0.1. I wonder if the 0.1 is enough. Because we had to turn up the closing one at one point. And I think last time we opened it, we did it manually with the thrusters.
Yes, let's just give it a little bit of a push. I'm giving it a push.
Push it.
No, yeah, it's stopping again.
Okay,
Or
so
is it
maybe we'll
moving
have
now?
to... let me get stationary. Yep, it's moving.
Kinda, yeah. Very, very gently.
So what we might do is just increase... We'll have to play with the gravities. Maybe we'll make the 2G's opening and adjust the other one to compensate.
Yeah. I think we can do that quite quickly. So when that leaves, this should turn off and you should hear the grinders stopping as
There
you
we
just
go.
did.
Perfect.
So let's do.
So the two ones we got to change is the GoD toggle.
And I'll increase it by 0.1.
Increase both. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll increase the static.
Okay. I'll do the toggle to 0.5 instead of 0.4. Jaws going 0.2 instead of 0.1. There we go. So now we have 3 closing Gs and 2 opening Gs. So a little bit more on the closing since we're pushing a ship. And hopefully this 2 will get it going again if we closed it.
Yeah.
So the next thing we have to do is take care of when it gets to the... This is Halloween, this is Halloween, Halloween, Halloween.
Halloween, Halloween.
So yeah, when we get back here, we got another sensor.
Wow, they look way
Positioned.
more menacing from the inside.
Yeah, I like it. A chin that sticks out.
Yeah,
And a nose that sticks
evil
out.
nose. It's an
But
evil
here we can
nose.
see evil, deliciously evil. So here we have a sensor. It's set up to only detect large ships. And should we just wait till the wall gets here and go over the functions? Or should
Yes.
we go over them now and see if they actually work when it happens?
Go over it first.
Okay. So we have 2 sensors. There's another sensor on the actual GoD because we want to do a couple things. We want to do some stuff on the station. So this guy is set up to, action groups. I made a group that has the grinders. Well, the grinders are already off, so I could probably take them out of there. Has the grinders, the auto heal, the welder stuff, and all the gravity generators that are used for this machine. So when it detects that the wall is in its closed position, it's going to shut off basically everything.
Yeah.
And all that stuff gets turned back on when we start the machine. So that way we don't have gravity generators running needlessly, and it should save us a little bit of power so we don't run out of uranium, because we don't really have enough uranium, Jaws. We need more. More uranium. I want more.
We had like 1.5 ton.
More.
More!
probably
Unlimited power!
So here, if we go to the other end, you can see this will, hopefully, if I lined it up correctly, be in the path of where that landing gear is. So it comes, hits that, and it activates a sensor that I shoved in here.
It's upside down, Moribus.
I know, I saw that, and I was like, I should probably change it. But I didn't. So this one set up to only detect large ships as well. Oh, energy low, gonna die. Must talk quicker. And all this does is toggle that same timer that we used to turn on the GoD to begin with. So it does the same thing. And that timer block changed, what did it do? Toggled the battery recharge state and also the artificial mass block. So
Yes,
theoretically, when it's all said and done, everything should be off.
indeed. And also, I'm trapping you here, so you will die from
I just figured that out. I'm like, he's
No.
probably going to try to kill me.
I failed.
So our next step, 1.5. 1.4, 1.3. He got in the cockpit, didn't he?
Oh.
Almost. All right, so we'll bring it back for it, and we'll make sure everything happened as it should, and that's probably the end of the episode.
Indeed.
Behind the back. In 1 second. With a pig.
Oink, oink, oink. Welcome back.
It's almost there. It's almost there.
It's almost there.
Yes.
Welcome back. Back, welcome. It's almost there. There, it almost is.
there. So what we should see happening is the gravity, which I'm not in, so you can't even see it. Should
Yeah,
turn
it
off, but
doesn't-
we'll check those. I think that one's linear.
Da 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 da
And then dinosaurs.
da
Na, 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 na.
da da. Did it just stop?
It's just like just short, is it?
Is it?
Maybe. It's just past the gravity. It's hard to see where the gravity is. Oh, no, the gravity turned off, so that's why it stopped. But it didn't trigger the...
Oh yeah, there we go. That triggered. So this is like
The
a
one that
micrometer too much. So let's see if we can add 7.6 instead of 7.5. That's not enough. What are you trying to detect with this guy? You're trying to detect a large ship when you should be detecting a station.
No, it's a... Oh, yeah, it is. I was thinking
Ha-ha.
landing gear. I was thinking the other way. Yeah, that's my bad. I was thinking, when you put a landing gear on a station, but
Oh yeah.
not this way, but like the other way around, like place a large ship kind of thing. Yep. So that was my mistake.
There we go. So, oh yeah, the landing gear has a little part of the landing gear that looks like it's there isn't actually there, so it's going to be a little bit late in the detection as well.
Excellent.
But it's
So
detecting
hopefully
it,
that
so.
I think that worked. We might bring it back and do a little off test camera, but for the most part, we think that's good. It seemed to have
Yes.
done everything we needed to do. Auto
Indeed.
heal is off. Excellent.
Okay.
So now theoretically we should be able to hit that one button and it would crush a ship. We had a ship. And then it would open back up again. So in the
Yes.
future we can hopefully test that out from start to finish for you. We'll have to do some cargo ship capturing. I'm still not sure what the state of them are. They're pretty hard to weld and stuff or grind, so I don't know if we can actually get them on the server yet, but we'll see.
Yes, indeed. We
Anything
did
to
try
add?
last time. Last update, we did try, and we couldn't grind ships.
Yeah.
So,
It was grinding like blocks, 3 blocks behind where you were trying to grind, so
Yeah.
trying to hack something or anything like that would be incredibly difficult and frustrating.
even just placing a cockpit would be really hard.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, and
Anyway.
beautiful. More automation. We
More
didn't have time
automation.
to do the painting of the hangar, so we'll try to get to that soon.
Yes. We get a beautiful finale of looking at the base from a distance.
It's getting quite big.
It's
I noticed
massive.
in the thumbnail for the world download's available on the workshop,
Yes.
and yeah, the station's it's starting to look bigger than the asteroid kind of thing. It used to be a small station sticking out of a large asteroid. Now it's a large station sitting on top a large asteroid, I guess.
Yeah. It's an itty-bitty asteroid.
Yep.
Yeah, and the big rocket launcher, or
Yep. The GoD gun
the GoD gun.
can take out GoDs. Now I have to edit a little laser beam going.
Yeah, I wish I could do stuff like that.
Yeah. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.